Everyone, Jules here. Today I'd like to talk about some books about symbols, and I would like to show 3 books, and these books are really interesting and useful for using tarot cards so that you can recognize symbols a bit easier, and they're also useful for people who are interested in correspondences as well. So the first book is the Encyclopedia of Secret Signs and Symbols by Adele Nozedar. And this is a really useful, handy book. It's in different sections according to the subject. And each section is alphabetical, so it's easy to find things. And there's black and white drawings of the different symbols. And there's also information on the major arcana of the tarot in here as well. But it's an accessible book, and it's just really handy to have all of this in one book. And it's really compact and concise as well. And I particularly like this book. I just find it very useful, and it's got all kinds of symbols from different cultures and different spirituality in here. So I quite like this book, and I want to recommend this one. It's probably the most accessible of the 3 books, but it's just so handy and interesting and informative. So this is the Encyclopedia of Secret Signs and Symbols by Adele Nozedar, and I'll put the details below the video. The second one is very highly regarded. It's a Dictionary of Symbols by J.E. Cirlot, and this has more detailed information than the first book. It is a dictionary, so it is completely alphabetical. This one's not divided into sections like the first book. It has some black and white photographs in here as well, and drawings of the different symbols. It's a really fascinating book. This was one of the first books that was written on symbols, and the author is a Spanish expert on symbolism. And this book is so useful, and it has been so useful to me. This is my second copy of this book, because the first book I just used so often that after a number of years I needed to replace the first copy that I had, and this is a later edition of the book. So I really recommend this one too. This one isn't a quick reference as much as the first book, but the information is really interesting in here for people who want something a bit more detailed, and who also want a alphabetical format instead of different sections. So I recommend this one as well, A Dictionary of Symbols by J.E. Cirlot. It's a great standard book on symbolism. And the third book is by Barbara Walker, the Women's Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects. And this is also divided into sections like the first book. Each section is alphabetical, and because this one is written by Barbara Walker, it will have a more goddess-centered approach, but it's really a multicultural and general approach as well. And it also has some black and white photographs taken from her tarot deck as well. It's a really interesting and informative book. This one is quite accessible, a bit more like the first book that I showed, and I think it's still in print. I had an earlier copy of this one as well. This is a later edition, and if it is not still in print, you could get this on Amazon anyway. So for people who want more of a goddess approach as well as a general approach, and who particularly like Barbara Walker and like her information on things, I would recommend this book as well, because it is very thorough. There is a lot of information and symbolism in here, and it is quite an interesting book as well. So this one is The Woman's Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects by Barbara G.Walker. So I'll put the details of all three of these books under the video, and I hope people found that interesting and might look into getting any of those books. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.